Welcome, everyone, to the Magic Girl podcast. Welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Don't worry. Magic Girl podcast is not only for the ladies, it is for everyone, because anyone can be a magic girly, regardless of their gender identity. Anyways, first and foremost, before we get into this podcast, of course, we got to do a bean check. Let me show you where all the beans are. By beans, I mean cats. If you're a visual watcher, if you're a visual listener, I don't know, man. If you're watching this as well as listening, you will see the beans, but I'll also be just telling you where they are in my room. Rory's right behind us. She's just chilling on the bed. She's just sleeping. She's not actually asleep, but she's very eepy looking. So, you know. And then, that's what I thought. Raven is behind my PC setup, so I cannot show her on camera, but she's right behind. She's on the windowsill. So they're just chilling. The magic girlies, the magic little kitten girlies, they're just chilling. They're giving us their good energy. But welcome. This is our first ever episode of the Magic Girl podcast. Woo! Yay! I'm very excited. I'm thinking of putting this up on YouTube as a little like teaser for the Magic Girl podcast. It is for Magic Luv's tier and above over on my Patreon. Go check that out. All the audio episodes as well as the visual video episodes will be over on there. And so if you're interested, if you like this first episode, it's kind of like a pilot, a little like tester episode to see how you guys like it. Try this episode out. If you like it, go check out my Patreon because I'll be posting these weekly over there. So yeah, that'll be fun. Anyways, I have a couple different topics I want to talk about today. And I have a lot of fun stuff that's happening in my life right now. And so I thought it'd just be fun to kind of talk about it. I'm not used to doing a podcast like this. So I've tried to do a podcast once before. And I did one about like Minecraft YouTube stuff, because I do stuff on my gaming channel for that, or my main channel for that. And I had a lot of fun doing it, but I also realized that it was just a little bit too much of a time commitment to put out at the size of my channel currently. And so Patreon felt like a really good way to do a podcast that would bring in income easier and make it where I can kind of, I guess, tailor the episodes and kind of talk about whatever the hell I want. I can talk about the nitty, the gritty, the grimy, the naughty. I can talk about anything in this world. And I think that it'll be a lot of fun because there'll be no censorship. And there will be no ads because of that. The only thing we'll be doing that is like advertising is obviously in this episode, I'm advertising my Patreon through this entire video, not repetitively, but just this video existing is basically an ad for my Patreon. And I will be singing a little ditty about the Magic Luv members. So yeah. We actually got our first Magic Luv member. And I'm like really excited about it because I was really excited to do these perks and stuff because I added new perks. I added new tiers to my Patreon and I was really nervous because I didn't know how people were going to, perceive them, or if they were going to hate them, or if they were going to be like, you just want more money. And it's like, well, first of all, everyone wants more money. Don't blame a magic girl for magic trying, okay? I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this because I love doing it, and I need money to be able to do it full time for my job. It's not like I'm just doing it for money. I'm doing it because I love it, and I need money to be able to do this more often. I hope that makes sense. But I added new tiers. And I think they're really fun tiers. I actually kind of want to talk about them a little bit because I kind of rebranded the Patreon a little bit. And I was really nervous. I didn't know if you guys were going to like it. Also, Patreon rebranded. Patreon did a major update recently. And so, like, that's something very interesting that I'm still getting used to. They updated their app and website a little bit. Their website's almost the same, but their app changed completely. It's so much nicer now. I'm actually going to go ahead and pull up my Patreon in here so I can talk about the perks and stuff just a little bit. Don't worry. We're not going to be talking about them too in depth. But Patreon, this is not me who added this. Patreon added a free join on Patreon. So basically, I can post posts now to my Patreon that people that don't even have to pay can see, which I haven't done yet because it's a brand new feature. But it is cool because I feel like I can do little teasers and stuff. So if you guys want to stay on alert, or you're planning on maybe becoming a member later on in the future, but you can't become one right now, you can join for free now. And it'll make it where any teasers I post, you get access to immediately. But you just won't have access to all the paid membership stuff. So anyways, so originally I just had 2 tiers. I had a $1 and a $10, now known as the Little Love and the Sweet Love. But they weren't called that. They were called Level 1 Chaos and Level 2 Chaos, but I rebranded a little bit. Now we're the Loves. You guys are my loves. I love you guys. Now called Little Love. We now have Little Love, Caring Love, Sweet Love, Magic Luv, and Ultimate Love. And Magic Luv adds some pretty cool perks. So Magic Luv is how you unlock this podcast. And it also unlocks Discord server movie nights. So I have a Discord server only for patrons. And I also have a public Discord. So if you want to join my public Discord, that'll be linked down below in the YouTube release of this. But I have a Patreon exclusive Discord only for patrons. And I'm going to be doing movie nights over there, monthly, monthly, maybe twice a month. If I'm super busy a month, maybe we'll do multiple the next month to kind of make up for it. It's not a specific schedule. We're kind of just going to be basing it off of when you guys are available to do a movie night and when I'm available to do a movie night. So we'll be doing polls on when you guys are free to do a movie night over on the Discord. So definitely, if you do join the Magic Luv and you're interested in that perk, make sure to join the patron Discord. But yeah, and then the Ultimate Love is mainly just extra support. And okay, so I actually misspoke earlier in the podcast, like at the beginning of this podcast. A thank you song is for the Ultimate Loves tier. Because I was gonna say, I said earlier that it was for the Magic Luv. I completely forgot. It's for the Ultimate Love. You get a little thank you song in the podcast, which is pretty cute. Basically, I'm gonna write a little song or freestyle a little song. I think I'm gonna write a little song. I think I want to make this like real good. Write just a little song, little couple lines based around your name. So that'll be on the Magical Podcast. So that's kind of like the only form of advertisement this podcast is going to have. So I'm not going to be sponsored by big companies in this, so you won't have to worry about ad breaks or anything like that. It's going to be pure content. Pure content, guys. Pure content. But yeah, I rebranded the Patreon. I also rebranded my public Discord, which is pretty cool. People were actually, okay, so this is actually something I want to talk about today. So topic number 1. I rebranded my Discord a little bit. Basically just like updated the name and updated the owners because my boyfriend was originally a co-owner on that server with me. Not originally, but for a while was a co-owner on the server with me. Now they are a moderator because they were co-owner when we realized that they were doing a lot of YouTube stuff and they also wanted a Discord server, but they didn't want to run a Discord server on their own. And so I just transformed that one to be both of ours. But they're not doing as much YouTube stuff anymore, and they're not really big on Discord, like Discord servers for fans and stuff. And like, not that they're not big on it, but like they're not really the type to like keep up with it super intensely. So it was just kind of a smarter idea to collab them. Because I'm like really into it. And so we did that for like about a year now. I think we've had like a collaborative Discord, I think. And sorry, Rory's being so cute behind me. She's eeping now. I told you she was eepy. Anyways, ASMR. But basically, he and I were co-owners on the server for about a year, but before that, it was just my server. I asked him recently, I was like, hey, since you're not really doing YouTube stuff as heavily anymore, you're focusing on voice acting, do you want me to make you just a moderator so you don't have the ownership like title and you don't have the pressure of being an owner? And he was like, yeah, that actually sounds great. Like, I like think that would be good, like no problem. So I moved him to moderator and I rebranded the server because it was really called Kichi because his online name is Tamakichi. His real name is Gabe. Gabe Lancaster VA. If you guys want to be fancy about it. And so I demoted him to be a moderator, even though he's like the lead moderator still. So like he is very much in charge of part of the server still. Also, if you're a visual listener and you see the light coming through my window blinds, I do apologize. There's nothing really I can do about it. It's 10:25 a.m. and it's just like every morning pours in through my window, the light. Anyways. So I did that, and there were I was so worried people would think we broke up because that's not the reason, obviously, that I did that. It wasn't because we broke up and I wanted to rebrand the deal, because it was really called Kichi and Izumi's Cozy Corner or something like that. But before that, it was called Izumi's Cozy Corner, so I just added him into it, right? And now it's Izumi's Fairy Garden, because on the main channel, I have a whole theme of, like, mystical magicalness, right? And I was so worried people would think we broke up and that it was like a drama thing and that he got demoted because we are no longer dating and stuff like that. And no one at first thought that. And then so people started to think that. And so I had to clarify in chat, we are still dating. We're happier than ever. It's purely because they, like, we both realized that, like, they don't really do anything that is like ownership of the server, really. So they kind of just like, they're basically a moderator already, so we just moved them to moderator and changed it back to just my server. And it was so nerve-wracking. I was so scared of people like making this like conspiracy theory out of nothing. But thankfully, as soon as I explained it, I haven't had anyone else question it, but they could be keeping it to themselves. I don't know. Because I know there was the person that talked about it was like, I don't want to bring up a sore topic if is a breakup. And I was like, it's not, it's not a sore topic. It's not a breakup. But obviously they didn't know that. Like, I would speculate too. I get it. But I thought it was really funny that the thing I was scared of happened, but it wasn't like as big of a deal as I thought it was going to be. I just clarified and then everyone was like, oh, cool. They were like, okay, glad you guys are still together. You guys are cute. Whatever. That was something I was really worried about though. And so I'm glad it all worked out in the long run, but yeah. It was, okay, next topic. It was Raven and Rory's adoptiversary last Sunday. It's been officially 1 year since I adopted the babies. Well, me and Gabe adopted the babies. And I am so happy that we did. I love them so much. They're my joy. They're my light and joy and happiness. I love them so much. They're just so cute. Oh my god. So cute. Anyways, they're both eeping. It's nap time in the house, apparently. So, it's a good vibe, I feel like. There's a story about the adoption of Rory and Raven that I don't want to share until a later date, but I will be sharing it on the podcast in a future episode. It's a lot. It's intense. It's rule breaking, but it's fun and it's kind of funny and it's really like, it had a great outcome. Obviously, because we have the beans now. So just a little teaser for that in the future. We will be talking about that in the future, but I need to kind of wait a little longer. And I think you guys will understand why when I do. But anyways, okay. Sorry if I just peeked my mic. I need a new mic. that's another thing to talk about. I need a new microphone. I'm getting a new microphone soon. Soon, relatively. I have a booth that me and Gabe and my dad built that can come apart, be put back together. It's pretty cool. Sorry for the yawn. It's like a really nice booth that we made. And if you hear me voice acting anything, that's the booth I'm in. It's an amazing microphone. It's completely soundproof. Like, you can't hear anything in there, which is great because we live in an apartment and we don't want noise complaints. So it's like really nice. And Gabe said he might be doing like a video talking about that, which would be pretty cool. I'll let you guys know if that comes out so you guys can see more about the booth. But regardless, that's what I'm in anytime I'm voice acting. So I don't really need to worry about my mic for voice acting. It's for videos, which I peak this mic way too often. This mic is like, it picks up way too much background noise and it is far too sensitive. And there's not really any way I can fix that because this is not an expensive microphone. This is a very cheap microphone. Realistically, I got it off of Amazon with the boom arm. I love the boom arm. It's very cute. But I'm going to have an all-white setup eventually. Gabe actually surprised me with a new keyboard. So cute. Now you guys won't hear my keyboard in the background of my videos now, which is so nice. And a new mouse. We love it. We love to see it. They're both white, which I really want an all-white setup one day. And so I will be probably getting a white mic with a white arm, or just a white mic without an arm. I don't know. Eventually. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be fun. Patreon fun going towards my new microphone. My new microphone, as well as, like, I don't know, groceries. Might be nice. But yeah, I was really nervous starting. My voice just cracked there. I was really nervous starting the new Patreon tiers because I didn't want people to think that I wanted them to pay me more money. But like at the same time I had to remind myself, like, I have a $1 tier that you get stuff through still. It's like you don't have to pay a lot to be a part of the Patreon, you know? And all members are able to join the Discord, and you get monthly art stuff, and like, yeah, you get some fun perks still, even at the $1 mark. So that's pretty cool. I've been streaming a lot of behind the scenes of one of the main series on my main channel, which is called Internet Crash, which is a cute little sapphic romance show. Amazing voice actors, love them to death, amazing. But I have been doing a lot of behind the scenes streams of building the sets for it. And so I've had a lot of new people joining my streams, which has been a little scary, guys. I had to turn on subscriber only chat for yesterday's stream. I'm filming this on Wednesday, so I was streaming yesterday, and I also streamed Monday, just as a little surprise stream. I normally don't stream on Mondays, but I decided to. And on that Monday stream, a guy joined and was like being really rude, and like, he basically, when he found out I had a boyfriend or that I was dating someone, he immediately started harassing me in chat. We love straight men. If you're a straight man that's an ally, you're different, okay? You're different. You're not like straight men. It's a different breed of straight man, okay? I love ally straight men who can be a little flamboyant sometimes and are like super confident in their masculinity. We love that. But if you're the type of straight man to go harass or type of person, because anyone can do this, but I could tell the type of guy that this person was, you know, I could tell the person that this person was. If you're the type to go into someone's streams, especially a young woman, because I feel like young women get this a lot more often, not that they're the only ones that get this, but they're definitely the ones that get it the most often. People coming in, flirting with them, and then the moment they hear that they have a significant other, absolutely like losing it and starting to treat them like shit. It's literally the meme of, well, I didn't want to go out with you anyways. You're ugly. It's like, you literally just asked me out and said I was pretty. Pick a lane. But there was a guy that was being really rude, and then he kept making alt accounts every time we would mute his account to join and pretend like he was taking down my channel. It's like, if you're gonna make a fake YouTube support channel, I'm gonna laugh at that. I literally laughed at him, which probably made him more upset, to be fair. But thankfully my moderators helped me a lot, and I'm actually hiring more moderators right now, and I have some mods in training, which is nice. But I turned on subscriber only chat for Tuesday's stream to prevent that. I still had someone come in and be weird and talk about politics, and I was like, hey, politics are against the rules. One of my mods was like, hey, politics are against the rules, and they continued to talk about it. So it was like, okay, you're not understanding, mute. Or I think I put them in timeout and then I muted them because they talked about it again. I think that's what happened. But yeah, it's weird because I'm growing faster recently. Like, I'm on an uphill on my main channel of growing, especially on my live streams. I've been getting a lot more people and a lot more new people on my live streams, which is awesome, but it also comes with like assholes occasionally. But I think this is like a nice way to ease me in, you know, because if all of a sudden I like exploded in popularity and I had like 100 viewers on my live streams, I wouldn't have the amount of moderators to be able to keep up a chat that big. And now I am getting to that point. I'm doing like a mods in training thing where I am on my Discord server. I put out an application. I also put it on my YouTube community page on the main channel. I basically like put out a form for people to apply for moderator, and if I like their application, they become a mod in training on the Discord. And so after a month of being a mod in training on the Discord, the mods and I will evaluate if they are ready to become a full moderator on the YouTube channel and the Discord. And so I feel like it's a nice way to kind of ease new people in, because I got trust issues, besties. I got trust issues. This Magic Girl got trust issues. And so, you know, it's spooky having people have permissions to do things and like ban people and stuff. So the mods in training don't have as many permissions as moderators, but if we see that they're not abusing their power and they're being a really good moderator and we trust them, they will be promoted. But that doesn't mean they can't be demoted if they break the rules. So yeah, that's been pretty cool, having more moderators. And I think it's been good for me to have that little micro experience of like, these are the type of people that could find you when you get bigger, and there's going to be more of them. Kind of as like a mental preparation type of thing for when I am getting bigger and bigger, to keep that in mind, you know, for adding more mods and stuff, because I think that was a really good idea to add more mods because of that kind of situation. Because, you know, having like 2-3 mods works for when you have like 20 viewers, you know, but I've been getting 30-40 viewers per stream over there now, like almost double. And so people are finding my channel that don't watch my content typically, and so trolls are more likely to find it as well. But thankfully I have a lot of amazing people that want to become mods that I already trust. So it's kind of like, you're probably going to become a mod. I just had to put you through the mod in training to kind of as a like formality, because I don't want to like have like a favoritism type thing of instant modding people unless they used to be a moderator for me already. In that case, then they might become a moderator right away. Or if they've been my friend for years and years and years and we're super close, then that kind of makes sense. But if it's like a person that's just applying that like I kind of know, but I don't fully know, I'm still going to make them go through mod and training. But that's been pretty cool. I actually need to go through the application again later today, which will be cool. I like going through the application, like finding out who watches me, who's watching me, you know. It's like, it's interesting, like who is like willing to do a moderator type thing for my channel, you know, and for the server. It's very interesting, very interesting. I do need to invite some people to the Patreon Discord probably, because I feel like it's probably good to have a moderator or two, even though the Discord for the Patreon is much more tight-knit. Like I can name most of the people in that Discord server. Like I remember their names because they've been patrons for a while, or I like have talked with them before and stuff. So like a lot of them I kind of know. And so if I say, hey, please don't do that, a lot of them are incredibly if not all of them are incredibly respectful and like, I get it totally. So like I might add a mod or two because the Patreon has been getting bigger over the past like couple weeks. Ever since I started posting again on Izumi Audio, which has been so fun. Oh my god, I missed it. I stopped because I got demonetized on Izumi Audio, and it was very much a letdown because that was one of my bigger incomes online, and it just poofed, it went away. But I get some of the reason why, but I also am like, I don't get all the reason why, but like, we're not going to get into the nitty gritty of this because this is the public episode. We talk about that on the private episodes over on the Patreon because I can't get in trouble for saying things over there. So become a Magic Girly and join the Magic Luv tier to get the Magic Girl podcast so you can learn all the nitty gritty. All the nitty gritty. I'm excited to be able to speak without being worried about people, like only the besties get to know the nitty gritty. I'm excited for that. But in this podcast, it's a little bit more tame, but it's still a vibe, right? It's still the vibe of the podcast, kind of talking about random things. I'm also going to be talking about topics and interviewing people based on questions you guys ask over on the Patreon. So in future episodes, that will also be a thing. But I don't have enough questions to do it this episode, but for future episodes, as we grow and expand, then it will become a thing. Same with the whole Ultimate Love, getting little songs. That'll become a thing once I have Ultimate Love tier members. So, yeah, hope you guys understand that. Who am I talking? You guys are Magic Girlies. Of course you understand. Of course you understand, because you're freaking amazing. Guys, that was a big sigh, because I'm about to talk about something a little heavy. Not heavy, but like, whew. So, this is the Magic Girl podcast. We talk about everything, right? We talk about periods. We talk about life. We talk about contemplating our existence. We talk about depression. We talk about mental health. We talk about success on YouTube. We talk about following our dreams. We talk about feeling like we suck. We talk about feeling like we're awesome. We're going to talk about everything in this podcast. And so I'm going to be a little vulnerable with you guys. Last night, I had my first ever depressive episode in probably like 4 or 5 months, which that's a long time for me not to have a depressive episode. I've had depressive episodes since I was 15, 16, around there. And I've had really bad anxiety since I was about 15, 16. I've always had not great anxiety, but like it got a lot worse when I was like 15, 16. And I actually have a theory of why it got worse. One of the reasons it got worse. I had an eating disorder, trigger warning, an ED. We're not going to be talking about it intensely, don't worry. Unless you guys want me to do an episode about my ED. But there'll be just a massive trigger warning on that episode. But we won't be going into nitty gritty on this episode. Just know you are enough, you are amazing, and you are so much more than how you look. I love you. Anyways, moving on. That was happening around that time. Like, recovery from that was happening around that time. I was in a long distance relationship, which obviously does not help mental health. It makes it so much worse. But thankfully that long distance relationship turned into the relationship I have right now, because it's the same person. Gabe is the person I was in a long distance relationship with for 2 years. We were 15 when we got together. He turned 16 pretty soon after we got together. But I was 15 for a little bit, and then when he turned 18, he moved to live with me. I was still 17. He lived with me and my parents because my parents fucking love him. He is a son to them. And it was such a, like, we did not expect for him to be able to live with me and my parents. We expected for him to have to get a place, and he would just stay for a little bit visiting while he was getting a place. But my parents were so sweet and were like, no, he can stay with us, save your money, wait till you're both 18 and just move out together, which was incredibly sweet, incredibly kind of them. I love my parents. If you're watching this, Mom and Dad, I love you. But I had my first depressive episode for after a while, yesterday night. And I think I was just picking up, it was a combination of a lot of things. First of all, I'm on birth control, as many young women are. And I just went back onto my active pills because I have the type of birth control that has inactive pills on the week that my period happens. And so I just got back onto my active pills like 2 nights ago. And so that messes with my hormones a little bit. So like that's its own thing. On top of that, one of my friends is going through a hard time, and I, not to be this person, I'm a mediator, okay? I'm an empath, no. I'm a mediator, which if you don't know what that is, it's a type of personality. It's, what letters is that? It's the Myers-Briggs personality test, if you're curious what I'm referencing. It's a really cool personality test. It was incredibly accurate for me and Gabe. But let's see here. Myers-Briggs. Okay, I am a INFPT. INFPT, which is introverted, intuitive, feeling, prospecting, and turbulent. So, I'm a mediator is like my overall personality type, which, God, I've never felt so understood reading through the results from that personality test. Holy shit. Basically, to give you the gist of me, in one aspect of my personality, I'm incredibly, like, emotional. But I am, okay? I'm incredibly emotional. I am very in tune with my emotions, is a better way to put it. Sometimes my emotions can get the best of me, but I am an incredibly, like, if someone is feeling bad, I start immediately feeling bad. Like, I empathize with people a little too much. I start to feel their feelings, and so when my friends is going through a hard time, I started crying because I was like, I wish I could help them more, right? And then it spiraled and it became a depressive episode. I think I would have had a depressive episode regardless of that, though. I think that was the kind of the catalyst. Is that what it's called? I don't know if that's the right word. The final little, straw on the camel's back type of thing. So if you're seeing this, friendo, and you know it's you, don't worry about it. It's not your fault. It was like, I could tell it was building for longer than that. But regardless, I had the first depressive episode I've had in a really long time yesterday, and it was very strange because I was very aware of what was going on. I was aware I was depressed. I was aware that it was going to end. And I was aware that the feelings I was feeling were way too intense for what I should be feeling. It was like a really strange situation because I've never been that aware during a depressive episode. I was like so aware. I was just crying and I couldn't help but be sad. I was literally just like so sad and I couldn't do anything to stop it. But I was aware that this sadness is not like authentically mine. It was such a strange feeling. Let me know if you guys have ever felt that way before in a depressive episode or just when you're sad in general. Like if you've ever felt like really hyper aware of the fact that you're sad and it's not your emotion that you're supposed to be feeling. It was strange. I've never felt that way before. And I think part of that was because I've done a lot of work on my mental health of becoming aware when I am having a depressive episode. And I think because I had a really strong support from my significant other, I was like very self-aware the entire time, and I was kind of walking him through my emotions and like why I was feeling the way I was and like basically talking to you guys of like, I think it's a mixture of my hormones and, feeling bad for my friend and like this and that and like little things over the day making me kind of overstimulated and stuff like that. Just like adding up till it all came together and became me feeling awful. And I knew it was depression and not sadness, because when I'm sad, I feel it really intensely, but depression's just like a whole other level of sadness for me. It also is a lot of non-motivated. It's a lot of wanting to sleep. It's like it comes in a lot of different forms for me. And I can tell when that's happening because I felt that way for 3 months straight, almost 4, when I was about 17. That was the longest a depressive episode ever lasted for me. But my depressive episode yesterday lasted only a couple hours, which is really good. That's like, I wish I didn't have them at all, obviously, but like, that's like way quicker than they've ever been. And I think it's because of how self-aware I was. I was like, literally, I felt like I was like crisscross applesauce above my body, kind of just looking down. And I was like, you'll feel better. It's okay. Just let it out. Just keep crying. Don't try to hide it. Say, I'm having a bad time. Like, accept that you don't have to be fine right now. It's okay to not be okay. And let it out. And I did. And it went away. I was so proud of myself. Obviously, no one wants to feel depressed, period. But the fact that I was able to feel depressed and then get out of it so quickly, I was so proud of myself. I was like, wow, this makes me not as scared the next time I have a depressive episode. If I'm able to stay this aware next time too, it's probably going to go by even quicker. And I was like, wow, is this what mental health journeys are like? I was like, is this what being on a mental health journey is like? I was so baffled. I was like, wow, is this what therapy's like? I've never gone to therapy, and I need to go to therapy, and I'm very aware I need to go to therapy, but I can't really afford therapy right now. So I've just been doing everything I can in my power to help my mental health, and looking up different ways to cope and everything like that. And it's genuinely been working, and I'm like so baffled. I'm definitely still going to go to therapy as soon as I can afford it, but it is something that I'm like, wow. If I feel this good and I've just been doing self-work, I can't imagine how good I'm going to feel after therapy, after having a good therapist, So that's something that I'm excited for. But yeah, no, I had that last night, and I think part of it, okay, so I started having depressive episodes, like episodes of depression that would last multiple days, or just a very like almost all day type of stuff. Normally multiple days though. I started having those when I was 16, and remembering it. Like, I might have had them before, and it might have been just like not as intense. I think that is what the case is, because I remember having episodes of just really not being motivated and being really sad, but I got out of it a lot quicker, and it never was as intense. When I was 16 is when it got really intense. I also started birth control when I was 16, and I'm thinking it might be making my depression way worse, because that is the case for some people on birth control. It makes your mental health worse, and like different birth controls can like react with your body and your hormones differently, and I've been on birth control since I was 16, and I'm almost 20 years old. I've been on birth control for like almost 4 years. That's a long time to be on birth control without a break. Never taken a break. And so my birth control provider stopped providing the birth control I'm on. And I will run out of the birth control I'm on in January. So, new year, new me. Baby, new year, new me. Baby. I'm going to be off of birth control in the beginning of the year. I'm not going to be getting pregnant though. I'm still smart, okay? I'm still smart. Okay. But I wanted to see what my body and my hormones and my mental health is like off of birth control. I'm going to wait a couple months, see how I am, and if I'm not doing any better or I'm doing worse, then I'm going to go to a different provider and go back on birth control. But I was like, this is actually, I think, a good chance to see if it is my birth control making me have worsened depression. Because there's so many side effects with birth control. So many side effects. You can gain weight, you can lose weight. It increases your risk of many things that I'm not going to name because I don't want to scare you guys. It can make your hormones out of whack. It can make your mental health worse. It can make your mental health better. It can put down your appetite. It can make your appetite worse. It can, it's like, there's so many things, so many layers of things. Have you ever seen a birth control thing? It's fucking massive. It's like this big. Birth control, like side effects page. It's like this big. Double-sided. Tiny font. Didn't know I was reading the Bible. Thought I was reading a side effects page. What the fuck? It's so bad. It's awful. But I'm very fortunate that I haven't noticed many symptoms while on birth control. I lost some weight when I went into birth control, but that was about it. But that could have also been my habits changing. Who knows? That's the only side effect I've had that I've noted. But I'm also like, my depression got worse after I went on to birth control. That might be another side effect. And that side effect, not fucking worth it. Not fucking worth it. There are other ways to be safe and be, living your life. Just saying. Just saying. Oh, God. Sometimes, I love Gabe. I love Gabe so much. Gabe is the love of my life. He's my best friend. We've been together since we were 15. First ever boyfriend. We plan on getting married one day down the line, right? We live together. We have 2 cats together. We don't fight. We don't argue. We're literally we're a great couple. But there's part of me, because I am a bisexual girly, that wishes I was with a girl so I didn't have to worry about birth control or getting pregnant. At least in most cases you wouldn't. If it's a trans woman, there is a chance, depending on their journey, on their body and everything. There's also a chance if I was with a non-binary person. But the chances would be so much lower. So much lower. Anyways. That's all jokes. I wouldn't trade Gabe for anything in the world. But that is something that I've thought about before. I'm like, God damn it. But regardless, jokes aside, my mouth made a weird noise there. I'm sorry if that was just in your ear really loud. I do apologize. Anyways. So we've talked about birth control. We've talked about depression. We've talked about my cats. We've talked about Patreon. We've talked about so many things this lovely podcast episode. Let's go ahead and wrap up the episode with some questions that are frequently asked. I'm going to be doing some frequently asked questions since we don't have custom questions from Magic Luv tier today. So, let me go ahead and read some questions. Okay, we have some frequently asked interview questions. I literally looked up interview questions that are frequently asked for celebrities, YouTubers, all that jazz. Okay. Question number 1. What advice do you have for kids who want to be doing your job? So I guess that would be writing, voice acting, and /or YouTube. For writing, write a lot. You're going to suck for a while. And just keep fucking writing. Look up different ways to write. I really, really recommend, if you're trying to write books, to follow the method that Jennifer Barnes, is that the author's name? Hold up. It's the Save the Cat beat sheet, right? It's the Save the Cat beat. Save the Cat writes a novel, outline for how to write novels. Really recommend it. Really recommend it. By, what is the author's name? Show me the author's name. Jessica Brody. Jennifer Barnes. Really? Jessica Brody. Okay, Jessica Brody. Recommend that if you're doing a novel or a movie. Movies also use that. If you're doing like a screenplay for a movie, or if you're doing a script, I highly recommend looking up different formats. I did a creative writing for entertainment course my senior year of high school. And if you're able to do one of those, I did an online course, so it doesn't have to be offered at your high school or anything. If you're able to do that, hella useful. Hella useful. I use a lot of the deals from that in my writing today. Now, voice acting. Practice just talking a lot. You gotta like talking, and you gotta talk a lot. You don't have to like talking or have to talk a lot, but like, it helps. It really does. I recommend trying out different voices, and if you have friends that also want to be voice actors, kind of critiquing each other, and take their critiques with a grain of salt. Always, put your own wants and needs above anyone's criticisms, and apply and audition for small roles, any small roles you can do to kind of get your practice in on like casting call club and stuff like that. Until you kind of get your craft more honed in. And then as for YouTube, start putting out YouTube videos. Make content, make videos. I see so many questions of like, how do I get started? You start by making videos. That is the first thing you need to do. You need to make videos, you need to put them out. It doesn't matter if they suck. It doesn't matter if they suck, because you're going to get better. And you can private them if you really need to later on, but it's really good to just start making stuff, because anyone can say, one day I'll do YouTube. Only few people can say, this is my day one of doing YouTube, and actually doing it and posting and pursuing it fully. Okay? How would you describe yourself in 5 words? Oh my god. Creative, ambitious, romantic, emotional, and loving. That's probably what I'd say. What makes you smile and what scares you the most? Love and people being loving to one another makes me smile more than anything. As well as doing what I love for a living. That makes me smile. What scares you the most? Being a boring person. Being a soccer mom with 3 kids named Billy, Timmy, and Ed. Ed. Billy, Timmy, and Ed. Being a soccer mom with 3 kids in the suburbs, and never doing what I love ever again, because my entire life revolves around being a mom. That's one of my worst fears. If I'm going to be a mom, I'm going to be a person who happens to be a mom. I don't want that to be my entire personality, and I never want to be a minivan mom. Nothing wrong with being a minivan mom. If that's what you want to do with your life, that's fucking amazing. Go do that. Go love those kids with all your heart. I'm going to love my kid with all my heart, but I'm also going to have my own ambitions, and wants, beliefs, everything separate from my kids. For my kid, I'll probably only have one if I do have a kid. The next question, you can tell this is like a celebrity Q&A question. Are you planning on making any other movies? I guess I'll translate that to videos. So Izumi ASMR, or Izumi Audio as it's called now. I'm planning on making a couple new audios, obviously. I love making audios. I also plan on making some more music, which I'm really excited about. I actually kind of want to release an original song that I've been working on for a little while now. And I'm really excited about that. I think you guys will really like it. And then for the main channel, I have a new series called In Between Dimensions, which I am laughing and cackling while editing, so I think you guys will really find it funny and really like it. It comes out November 5th at 4 p.m. EST, so go check that out. What is your greatest strength and weakness? My greatest strength, I think, is my ambition. I have a lot of ambition and creativity, so I'd probably say creativity and ambition. I can always come up with things, and I always have drive, unless I'm depressed. But that's different. My weakness? Depression. No, my weakness is I let my feelings sometimes get in the way of my success. Sometimes the case. Not as much as it used to be, though. What type of movie would you like to act in most? So I'm actually gonna answer this like fully. Like, what type of movie would I like to act in most? Because I do want to be an actress, like a screen actress, as well as a voice actress one day. I would love to be in a cute little rom-com. I would also love to be in a horror movie. Just saying. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So, what type of show would I like to voice act in, or movie would I would love to voice act in an anime. That's like my goal, is to be an anime voice actress. Or be in a big video game. That'd be really cool too. I'm in a couple video games. Well, I'm in like 2 or 3 video games total. But some of them are uni projects, and one is a FNAF fan game that's coming out soon. And then I have never been in an anime though, so I'd love to be in an anime. Describe the next 5 years of your life and your plans. Okay, so I'm moving to a house next year. That'll be pretty fun. Like, it's already like my house, but I'm waiting for my lease to end before I move there. And then I want to take good care of my cats. I want to grow on YouTube. I want to be doing YouTube full time. That's like my biggest goal for the next 5 years. It's my biggest goal for the next year. So I would love to do YouTube full time, and it'd be my full-time job. So yeah. And I also probably will get married to Gabe within that time span. 5 years, because I'm almost 20, 25. Yeah, probably. Anyways. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. I love you guys being here. Thank you for hanging out with me, bestie. Thank you for being a Magic Luv, or just thank you for tuning in general. I'll see you guys around. And if you would like to unlock the rest of the podcast audio only as well as visuals, I will have my Patreon linked down in the description below to join. Anyways, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next podcast. Goodbye. Goodbye, darlings. I'll see you around later.